I just bought this 2003 Toyota Camry for $1,700. It's got a check engine light, front wheels shake over 40 miles an hour, and it also has a couple cosmetic issues. That is not a problem. We would get them all taken care of. Okay, even though this is not typically what I work on, this 2003 Toyota Camry was just too good to pass up. Simply couldn't. It has a bunch of new parts, just a couple problems, and I think we can get it in and out pretty quickly. This is shying away from my normal BMW habits, but with the funds from these cars that we're flipping, the plan is to big turbo this as a big turbo daily, making 600 horsepower. All right, well, let's do a visual inspection. Front and side engine mount look new on the top. O2 sensor looks good. Coolant looks a little murky, but I doubt it's been changed in a long time. Alternator and AC compressor seem to be new. Low on windshield washer fluid. Engine mounts look new. A little bit of oil seepage from the valve cover gasket doesn't look too terrible. Let me see. Yeah. When I bought the car, this was actually unplugged. We thought that might have been the AC issue. These coil packs look pretty used and old, but they're still working, so there's no point in changing them now. Taking a look at the right side here, battery looks pretty used and abused. This back here is not exactly good. These two wires right here go to the connector for the vent solenoid. Moving on to the front suspension, brake pads look good, rotors look good. Not much of a lip, almost no lip. These front shocks don't look new, but still pretty good. Coming over to the other side, same thing. Rotors look good, not much of a lip, and brake pads are good. There's our oil filter, looks pretty new. This side engine mount has not been replaced. Although, this side tie rod does look new. It has a new boot, as well as it, isn't all rusted, as well as a new cotter pin down here. All right, so I just got the tires back from the shop, and they were a little bit out of balance. They weren't too crazy, but that could be the issue of our shaking over 40 miles an hour. Let's get these things on there. Wheels get torqued to 75 foot-pounds. All good. All right, while we're waiting for some parts, let's move on to the next thing. We're gonna remove this passenger side mirror, and we're gonna repaint it. So, pretty simple. All right, here's the mirror cap. I already have it scuffed down with 180 grit. All right, here we just have some filler primer. The plan is to hit this and, be able to scuff it down before we base till we get a better lay down on our paint. All right, coat number 2. After this, we're gonna scuff it down with a red Scotch-Brite, which is equivalent to about 400 to 500 grit, and then we'll be able to base and clear it. And just like that, we have 2 nice even coats that we'll be able to sand down. Alright, so the final thing we're going to do before we start painting is scuffing it down with red Scotch-Brite, which is equivalent to about 400 grit. So we're going to scuff this down and then we'll be ready to paint. Alright, now it's all smooth. You don't really feel anything. It's all good. Alright, so after taking a walk around the car, these are not in the best of shape. So, I decided we're going to paint them up. Alright, so we're done with the 220 grit. Now we're going to wipe these off with some mineral spirits or acetone or really whatever you got. Some lacquer thinner, that kind of stuff, just to clean it off. Alright, now they're all wiped down. We are going to give them 2 good coats of the filler primer. Alright, we'll let that dry and then we'll put a second coat on in about 10-15 minutes. Alright, so this is the paint booth that we're working with here. It's kind of just a bunch of boxes in my garage so that we don't have a ton of contaminants flying around. But the underside of those handles are going to be painted, so I'm going to paint them first. They're only going to get probably 1 coat of paint, and you know, I'll just throw 1 coat of clear on them because they're not really going to be hit as much by the UV, so those should be alright with that. But everything else is going to get 2 coats of paint and 2 coats of clear. I've got a heat lamp sitting here kind of trying to heat these up a little bit and warm them up because it is probably about 67 maybe. Anyway, we're going to get these wiped down and then we'll put the first coat of paint on. So I picked up our color matched paint and our clear coat from Touch Up Direct. It was about 70-80 bucks. I got expedited shipping, but unfortunately it still took about 2 weeks, which I was not very happy about. But we're finally getting these done. Doesn't look like it'll be too bad. Now we're going to do the second coat. Flipped all those. And I'm going to make sure that they get 2 nice even coats as well. Alright, I gave our second coat on them about 5 minutes to kind of settle in. It's not definitely done yet, but we're going to put our drop coat on and it'll be our last coat before we clear. If you don't know what a drop coat is, basically you're just spraying it pretty far away. The point is to even out the metallic. All right, and that'll be good. We're gonna let that settle for about half an hour to 45 minutes, and then we'll clear. All right, so it's been about half an hour since we painted these. They should be ready for clear. I already did the underside of the door handles with just one coat, and I flipped them back over and let them dry. It's been about 5-10 minutes since I've did that. Now we're gonna put on 2 coats of clear. We're gonna do 1 light coat, a tack coat, and then the second coat will be heavier, and make sure we get a good gloss and not much orange peel. Now we're gonna give that a good 10-15 minutes, and we'll put our second coat on, and we're really gonna lay this down and try and gloss it out. But with it being a spray can, I don't really want runs at all, so we're gonna gloss out, but we're gonna make sure we stay far enough away to where we are not gonna run it. Alright, we're ready for coat 2. This coat we're going to try and glass out. I've got a, kind of like a heat light on there to try and help get it to settle. I've got a heat lamp on there to try and get it, heated up. And I also have a flashlight here that I'm going to use to try and get more even coverage. I'm going to make sure I glass this out and keep it even. So first we're going to do ground. I already split these connectors a little bit, so we're going to feed them through and twist. So if you guys never soldered before, it gives the best connection for your wires. And we got to give it a second to get our soldering gun hot. It would definitely be easier if you had those little helper hands, but I don't have them. And simple as that. So great news, our soldering wiring job and our new pigtail worked. We have no more evap code. So we're gonna replace this little piece up here where the clip clips into here. It looks like the last guy tried to do some sort of plastic welding, and safe to say that it did not work. So we're gonna pull this panel off and then take this out. And now we just gotta take this piece off. I guess that's probably how you get it in. So if you can see right here, there's a clip right here and right here. I'm guessing that's how you pull this piece on and off. All right, a couple days later, picked one up off of eBay. Comes with both pieces and brand new hardware. And it just clicks in. And there we go. And just like that, we have a brand new latch. Let's throw it back on the car. Just like that, we have a working lid. Cool. I decided I'm gonna look at the AC system today. So earlier when I was feeling, this AC compressor clutch was locked up. This clutch did not spin at all. So I'm like, okay, our compressor's locked up. That's not a good thing, but at least that's what we know it is. I backed some of these bolts off just to, I was planning on taking it out, and then the AC compressor clutch frees up. And now it feels how it's supposed to be. There's a little bit of resistance, but it is not, crazy. So I took this belt off, and I was spinning the pulley. I'm spinning the pulley. The compressor clutch is not engaged. Pulley's free spinning. I put power to the connector, and it's already case grounded. And that clutch closed, and they started, spinning together. The only issue is, when I put everything back together, I turned the AC on, clutch wouldn't engage. So I have a feeling we're either low on Freon and the pressure switch is not telling our compressor clutch to engage, or we have an electrical issue, somewhere fuse side, which is not allowing the compressor clutch to close. I would like to check these fuses. I believe, if we look on here, I believe this 10 amp fuse right here should be the AC. And I believe that's all. It doesn't seem that there's a relay, but there's, the fuse right there. And I'm betting you there might be a fuse on the inside. So we'll check them out. Okay, so we have key on. We're gonna hook this up to ground. So we have key on, the AC is on, and this is lighting up. That's lighting up, so that fuse is good. Now, I would like to pull this out and just inspect it. Yeah. Fuse looks good. It's not burnt or nothing, so I don't believe this is gonna be our issue. I would just like to test. That's good. And obviously that's good. Now I'm going to put this on to power. Bye. And check again. And it is, and the fuse is good. There's power going too. Now I want to say that there is a relay. But I don't believe so. All All right, so we're here on the driver's side under this little panel. It's got, you know, a whole little list on the back. I read on a forum that this fuse right here, second row, you know, second from the right, is called the HTR. It's for the heater, and that looks completely fine. So I don't believe it's gonna be that. So I took this over to a friend of mine's shop. He evacuated the AC system. It was a little bit low. He recharged it back to what it's supposed to be. And the main reason for doing that, to make sure the pressure switch was getting a signal to kick on the compressor. I wanted to make sure that the freon wasn't too low to where that the pressure switch was not trying to turn the compressor on. And it is now, but it still is not working. So I believe that there is an electrical issue. I'm gonna have to trace the wires. I have the wiring diagrams for, you know, the AC system and a bunch of other engine component shit. But yeah, I'll have to do some more diagnosing and check this out and look for all of that. All right, so after doing a little bit of testing yesterday, and I think I kind of figured out the area, I believed it was from the fuse box to the compressor. I was pretty damn sure there was an open. I tested the resistance and it just gave me OL, meaning that it's open. So I decided to check it from the relay. I had to cut the wiring loom open, and after about 10 minutes of tracing this wire through various tunnels and looms and all whatnot, I come across this. The wire goes all the way down, all the way around, and does not go into the connector. So I believe we just found our issue. I'm going to get that back in there, and then we're going to see if it works. All right, so everything is squared away on the car, runs, drives perfect, the AC blows cold, and the wheels stop shaking. It's all good. Now, unfortunately, just with the condition of the vehicle, the paint, you know, all the chips, all the scratches, all the dents, I didn't list it too high. And sometimes when you're doing cars, it's not about how high you price it, but how fast you can get it in and out. I have someone coming to look at it for about $2,800, which is about maybe $1,000. It depends on where I'm at price-wise, but $1,000 profit. I detailed the inside. I just got to do the outside. You know, they're coming tomorrow or in 2 days, something like that. I was hoping to get this car out before I leave on Wednesday. It's currently Saturday. I leave on Wednesday for Gatlinburg, Tennessee. There will be a video on that. It probably won't be too long, but I'll definitely make some content for it. But I wanted to get this out so that I didn't have to worry about it, and I can start fresh with something new when I get back. I am going to be looking for something down there to drive back, because why not? All right, well, that would be the end of the video. I'm looking for sponsors, so tool companies, parts companies, whatever, hit me up. And please like and subscribe if you want to see more.